Baker today in the New York Times. He said that I want to be a dictator. I didn't say that. I said I want to be a dictator for one day. But the New York Times said, and you know why I wanted to be a dictator? Because I want a wall, right? I want a wall, and I want to drill, drill, drill. That's true. So, well, we did.
Donald Trump had a quite explosive rally in New York the other day where he again said this line about wanting to be a dictator just for one day, but this time he elaborated. He said it's so that he can build that wall and so that he can drill, 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 which is honestly pretty terrifying. Even the people chanting "build that wall" reminded me of 2016, and it seems like a lot of these voters have not learned a thing or just have not been paying attention. If you care about our democracy at all, this should terrify you. Just think about it. Project 2025 combined with Trump's repeated rhetoric about becoming a dictator for one day, combined with his repeated attempts to undermine the election by placing fake slates of electors in key swing states and calling Raffensperger, who was the Secretary of State of Georgia, and saying find X amount of votes. These things are dangerous and they work to undermine our democracy. I think people like Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping salivate when they see people like Donald Trump with such a massive platform spewing complete lies about American institutions. He's undermining America for these foreign dictators because America does have its flaws, but not in the way that Donald Trump and Republicans think, of course.
And you know why I wanted to be a dictator? Because I want a wall.
To dig into some of his points, let me remind you that building a wall is a very simplistic answer to a very complex problem that's been going on for decades. The problem isn't that too many people are coming over, it's that we don't have the mechanisms in place to process these people properly. So it's super easy for Republicans to spin it as this massive crisis when in reality immigration is one of the core tenets of our country. Not to mention 50% of the illegal immigrants here came over on visas and are only here legally because those visas expired. So spending billions and billions on a massive border wall or making Mexico pay for it is pretty futile in the end.
Right? I want a wall, and I want to drill, drill, drill.
And then he said he wants to drill, drill, drill. Not only is it dangerous to have the leader of the Republican Party using this rhetoric, but we saw what he did during his presidency. He rolled back tons of EPA protections and consistently undermined different organizations trying to protect the climate. He would also pull out of different agreements that were made to protect our climate. So this is a dangerous thing to say. Alright, so I have one more interview for you guys, and it's not as terrifying as the first one. So a few days ago, Trump's lawyer, Alina Habba, said with certainty that Trump will not cower and that he will testify in civil court. Just watch this clip.
He is so firmly against what is happening in this court and so firmly for the old America that we know, not this America, that he will take that stand on Monday. He will open himself up to whatever they want because he's not afraid. People that are afraid cower. President Trump doesn't cower. We'll be back on Monday.
And then we learned today that Trump will not be testifying in court today. Trump will not cower, she said, but I guess he did. I'm not really surprised that Trump isn't testifying. It's probably for a similar reason that he didn't participate in the debates. There's just too much downside and not enough upside. And he's so old and senile at this point that he's bound to slip up and say something that incriminates him. Just like in the debates, he'd be bound to embarrass himself. So I think they're going with the route of just trying to keep him out of the spotlight, keep him from saying something super embarrassing, but as much as they try, he has to keep campaigning and he keeps on saying these terrible things about being a dictator on day one. It makes you wonder, does he not have a team of people telling him how optically terrible these things are? I'm Adam Mockler from Occupy Democrats. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and like below. I'll see you tomorrow.